You ever been to one of Diddy parties?
Yeah, I've been in attendance.
Two new and famous defendants are being named in one of the lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs.
Ryan Chris.
I've been in attendance. Hey, what the fuck you smirking for?
I ain't seen that.
I've been in attendance.
A pro football player and a comedian, two celebrities now named in this ongoing litigation against Sean Diddy Combs. Now, Ashley Parham, she accused Combs in October of getting...
That's
all I said. That's all I said. I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asked.
I wouldn't.
Now, she named former Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. and comedian Druski as two of those who assaulted her. Both deny that. Now, Druski, who...
We just
yeah. As soon as you asked, he said,
whose real name is Drew DeSorbs, he posted on X that, quote, these allegations, they are a fabricated lie, noting...
You had fun?
I ain't seen that.
yeah, you did.
I ain't seen that.
Yeah, I had fun. Yeah, I mean, it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties.
We ain't seen that party.
At the time, he had no connections to the entertainment industry, and he was broke, living with his mother. Now, Beckham replied to Druski's posting. He tweeted, quote, "This world makes absolutely no sense. I'm covered by God. He will prevail. I know who I am. You know who you are. Keep your head." Now, Combs, who is currently in jail in Brooklyn on charges of racketeering, prostitution, and sex trafficking, has denied claims that he's ever sexually assaulted anyone, and his trial starts on May 5th.
Hello, everyone. We have a very intense story to discuss today. Diddy, Druski, and Odell Beckham have been accused of assaulting a woman at Diddy's house back in 2018. I have access to the court documents and indictment, which contain some very sensitive content that I can't share on YouTube. However, I will be launching a Patreon soon for all videos, pictures, and topics from previous and upcoming videos that are sensitive and violate YouTube's guidelines. On March 23, 2018, Diddy and others allegedly violated a woman. Shane Pierce met the victim in February at a bar, where she got into an altercation with another man. Shane stepped in to help her. Later that night, Shane FaceTimed Diddy to impress the people around him. However, the victim expressed that she was not impressed by Shane's connection to Diddy, and she even mentioned that she believed Diddy had something to do with Tupac's death. In response to her remark, Diddy stated that she would pay. On the day of the incident, Shane asked the victim to come to his house to help him open his medication, as he was feeling weak and unable to open the bottle himself. After the victim arrived, she and Shane started watching a movie. During the movie, Shane offered her a glass of water, which he went to retrieve and brought back to her. Approximately 10 minutes after the victim and Shane returned from a drive, Diddy entered Shane's residence. With Diddy were his bodyguard, Big Homie CC, KK, Brandy, and Doe 2, who upon information and belief, is a friend of Shane and Diddy. Diddy's driver, Doe 3, remained outside in his vehicle throughout the duration of the victim's assault. Upon Diddy's arrival, he immediately began to provoke the victim by stating that she thought she would never see him in person, and that she would pay for her remarks about his involvement in Tupac's death. The victim was in shock, as she never believed she would meet Diddy, especially in the small apartment rented by Shane. Diddy then advanced toward the victim, who was sitting on Shane's bed, holding a knife to the right side of her face. He threatened to give her a Glasgow smile. In retaliation for her previous statements during a video call, KK told Diddy that she did not think giving the victim a Glasgow smile would be advantageous to their potential clients who they could sell her for sex. KK then made a threat to the victim that they could ship her off anywhere in the world and that she would never see her family or anyone she knew ever again. Shane then partially undressed the victim. Then Diddy removed the remainder of the victim's clothing, removed the knife from her face, and then retrieved a bottle of liquid from a large fanny pack. Diddy poured a bottle of liquid on the victim, instilling fear that it was a chemical substance like acid. The victim soon realized the substance was an oil or lubricant. The victim was spurted with this liquid substance over the entirety of her bare body. KK was instructed by Diddy to insert what appeared to be a syringe from sterile packaging into the victim's internal genitalia. KK followed instructions with help from Brandy and Doe 2. KK and Brandy then left Shane's residence, leaving the victim alone with Diddy, Shane, and unnamed individuals who have been referenced in this document. This section of the indictment cannot be discussed further, as it contains explicit content that does not comply with YouTube guidelines. But in many words, allegedly Diddy used a remote to violate the victim, and then Shane, Diddy, and Odell took turns sodomizing the victim. Diddy then instructed another defendant, Doe, to also violate the victim. Defendant Doe has been determined to be defendant Druski. Druski was said to douse the victim with more oil, lubricant, and then jumped on top of the victim's bare and oiled body, treating it like a slip and slide, and knocking the wind out of the victim due to his enormous size. Druski then caught himself from sliding over the victim's oiled body, and off the bed. He then began assaulting the victim's genitalia. While Druski was assaulting the victim, Diddy sat in a chair near the bed, and began masturbating while recording victim assaults by Druski. Diddy made belittling remarks to the victim, claiming he owned her. KK entered to assess the victim, and was preparing to administer IV fluids. KK opened a different bag from the one Diddy had taken the oil from. The victim saw medicine bottles, IV fluid bags, and powder-like substances inside. KK took a pill from a bottle and handed it to Diddy. Diddy placed a pill into the victim's mouth, forcing her to swallow it. That's all for today, even though Diddy is currently in custody. The allegations against everyone involved are acknowledged, but the final decision will be made by a judge and jury. A Patreon will be launching soon, offering full details and explicit photos related to the cases that are not suitable for YouTube. You should know the motto by now: gang stay dangerous.